Thorsen from Yoga Equanimity, and this is the sensitivity collection from Meet the Resistance. So we have explored Uttanasana, Utthita Trikonasana, Utthita Parsvottonasana, and now we're going to look at Parsvottonasana. Parsvottonasana, again, keeps with that lengthening of the side waist, but now we're also working with the legs in an action where there's instability. So balance poses not only trigger or structure the neurological system to work in a different manner or to understand life in a different manner, they also stimulate the mind to get very creative in conflict. So let's take a look at a couple of variations of Parsvottonasana, also with a working variation or as well a restful variation, so that you can decide which one you need to use for that day. So, again, we're going to be using our chair, and I will show first the more working variation of it, like I did for Uttanasana, and then we'll move into the more restful variation of it. So we'll bring the front leg, which will be the right leg, front and center. It will be beneath the chair, in the center of the chair, so you will not see it with your hands at the outer edges of the chair. And then you're going to bring your back leg back. So your back heel is towards the floor, and it's at an angle of probably 45 degrees. So it's turned more in than it's turned out, but it is not entirely facing forward. We're going to use that angle to our advantage of keeping the knees safe. So you'll roll the outer left thigh in towards the inner left thigh. And from the front leg, you'll roll the inner right thigh towards the outer right thigh, which gives you the advantage. I'll lift my shirt up for a second so that you can see the waist or the abdomen, how that starts to behave. So in rolling the thigh in and rolling the thigh out, now we've got length through the abdomen versus when it becomes contorted and short. So you're rolling in. So our first variation can be a more working variation of bringing the arms forward and seeing how much we can stabilize the legs to get that length out of the spinal column, or that restoration out of the spinal column. Press down with the upper arm or the lower arm into the chair so that you're not load-bearing through the shoulders. You want a straight line with the spine versus any curves or sagging through the spine. To come out of this variation, you'll bring the hands down, and we'll bend the knees. Bring the left foot forward, and then bring that right leg back. So again, we notice yoga gives us a physical reference point to understand how far we are from the self. So we notice when we change sides, when we change legs, what is happening with my body. So give me that back heel towards the floor, the outer edge of the back foot towards the floor. Turn the outer right thigh towards the inner right thigh, the inner left thigh towards the outer left thigh. Breathe through it for a moment. And then arms up onto the chair. And see how well you can meet the resistance, or see how sensitive you can get to the flaws of your balancing mechanisms within the mind, within the emotions, and within the physical self. And then with an inhalation and an exhalation, you'll bring the hands back to the chair. And you know, if you find that this, with the hands to the chair, is enough for you, then be here. This is already something. You're going to get an openness and an assault on the body here like you may never have felt before. So be here. Prepare for the next stage. No problem. Bend the knees and then come forward. And so much like Uttanasana, for our more passive variation, of Parsvottonasana, we will also take support for the head. And remember what I was saying about the direction of the skin. The skin is the largest sensory organ or organ of perception that we have. So we want to make sure the skin is passive. So when you rest your forehead to the support, the skin should move in the direction of the nose versus the direction of the hairline. Find that out for yourself. Practice both ways. See what it feels like when you have the skin moving towards the hairline, and see how it feels when you have the skin moving towards the nose. So again, whatever support you need, maybe you need to build your support to here, no problem. You build your support to the height that you need it. You're bringing your hands onto the support of the bolster. Right leg is coming forward. Left leg is moving back. Remember the angle of that back foot. Remember the direction that the thighs are moving. Outer left thigh in, inner right thigh out. And then exhale, go ahead, bring the forehead to the support. So I need to move just slightly back. Bring your forehead to the support, and then arms can cross. So remember, you'll take a few breaths here, and then you'll want to change the cross of the arms. You'll bring your hands to the outside, press through the hands, and then go ahead, bring the left foot forward, right leg back, forehead down, cross the arms, change the cross of the arms, and then hands to the sides of the bolster. Inhale, come on back up. Come forward and take your Tadasana. So each time, or at least my goal has been with this sensitivity collection, is to bring us one place, that Uttanasana, where we initially address the work of the legs and the length of the spine and the length of the two sides of the trunks, then we complicate it a little bit with Uttita Trikonasana and those two variations of Uttita Trikonasana, one more restful than the other. And then in Parsvottonasana, now we complicate by bending the leg and seeing what we can create through strength training. So then Parsvottonasana is the next level with balance. How do we deal with balance? And Yogasana has so much to teach us about who we are as people and as a culture and as a species. So take some time in your practice, get sensitive with it. Look into yourself, know yourself. When you know yourself, you're a whole lot more able to help others on whatever level you can. You know, we may not be able to cure the disease, but we can sure help live with it with our practice. So get sensitive, keep practicing, and see you for the next pose.